Tonight, a new bombshell in the Swadley's Foggy Bottom kitchen scandal. The State Fire Marshal reporting Swadley's never got building permits for any of the restaurants at state parks, citing numerous life safety issues with those buildings.
Fox 25's Wayne Stafford has been combing through this report for us. He has the latest tonight.
This report we obtained through an open records request details a number of issues with the Romano's restaurant and others across the state, but it also reveals a certain misunderstanding when it comes to Swadley's leadership at OTRD and the Oklahoma law.
The Oklahoma State Fire Marshal report dates back to 2020 when a fire marshal agent described as Agent BB discovered that the fire marshal's office had not received a permit for the new Foggy Bottom kitchen restaurant at Romano's. The report says that the vice president of Swadley's then told the agent that no permits had been applied for and that they didn't submit plans on this restaurant or any of the other restaurants recently opened at state parks owned by the state of Oklahoma. After a quick inspection, the agent advised them of code violations and life safety issues that were found. The report reads, it was noted that certain emergency lights and sprinkler heads were blocked by decor and building material. It was noted that the fire alarm for the entire facility was in trouble mode. It was noted that the new deep frying appliances had been installed without the proper system review and that a deep fryer was not protected by a required extinguishing system. According to the report, later that same day, Brent Swadley, owner of the restaurants, contacted the agent saying, quote, "This is bigger than you and there are more politics at play here than you could ever understand. Governor Stitt reached out to me to put my restaurants in his state parks." The agent says in the report Mr. Swadley also explained that any documents that I submit to him will be forwarded to Governor Stitt and that I will have to answer to Governor Stitt on the matter. The report states Mr. Swadley saying, quote, "You can deal with the governor and Jerry Winchester with OTRD. I'll just be the middleman." Later that same day, Agent BB is then contacted this time by Oklahoma Deputy Director of Tourism Gino DeMarco. The report reads Mr. DeMarco hinted that he knows that the laws of Oklahoma don't really apply to the state of Oklahoma itself, and that they don't have to permit or submit plans to the State Fire Marshal by order of their general legal counsel. We read the rest to the Assistant State Fire Marshal. In this report, it states this. Mr. DeMarco then states several times, quote, "What are we really after here? Are we really after code compliance? What will it take for this to be taken care of and satisfy all parties? Can we just have an inspector verify that the violations you noted are correct and not worry about plans?" End quote. What do you think about that?
That's not the way we do things. I'm going to make an assumption as to how our agent would have responded to that. I would think my agent would have said that no, we are after code compliance. A simple inspection is not going to make this happen.
Do you think Mr. DeMarco was maybe hinting toward some kind of quid pro quo type of scenario?
I have actually never met Mr. DeMarco. I couldn't really comment on what he was thinking.
Fox 25 reached out to Gino DeMarco to get his reaction.
Hello, is this Gino DeMarco?
We never got a hold of him.
We contacted the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department and they sent us this statement. Quote, "The statements made by Mr. DeMarco do not reflect the department's commitment to public safety. When the department became aware of Foggy Bottom Kitchen's failure to secure the legally required inspections and permits outlined in the terms of the agreement, department staff immediately began work with the Oklahoma State Fire Marshal to ensure all restaurant locations were brought into compliance. Every aspect of this agreement is being investigated and any violations of state law will be reported to the appropriate authorities." Of course, this is an ongoing and developing story. We'll have those latest updates right here. Reporting, Wayne Stafford, Fox 25 News.
Now, taking a look at the original contract between Swadley's and Oklahoma, it does say the lessee, Swadley's, will obtain all required inspections and permits required by law.
Also, according to an open records request, Swadley's invoiced the state in the thousands for building permits. We're told right now none of the restaurants are up to code or permitted. You can find this full story on OKCFox.com.